One of the greatest blessings I've ever had in all my years as a married man is that I married Nico, one of the most beautiful women I've ever met in my life. During our first 7 years together, we lived a blessed and blissful life as husband and wife. We rarely fought. We never had serious arguments during those first few years. I loved my wife dearly, and my wife loved me. It was a taste of heaven on earth. And then I became complacent. I started taking my wife for granted. Now, I didn't do that intentionally. I didn't want to take her for granted and hurt her. But my priorities changed, and I started to become really involved in pursuing my career and trying to become successful. And at a certain point, I committed one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever committed to my wife. I started treating her as a problem to be solved, when what she truly desired was for me to see her as a mystery to be known, and a woman to be pursued and loved. There is something about loving a woman that we need to keep alive in our hearts. We must never allow this fire of romance to die out completely. We need to keep it alive. Listen to this beautiful poetry written by King Solomon, dedicated to a woman that he pursued with all his heart. It describes a kind of love every woman desires to experience from a man. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm. For love is strong as death. Jealousy is fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can floods drown it. What passions are embedded in those words! They awaken the lover in every man. You see, we are all romantics at heart. We cannot hold on to our reason and logic for far too long. Our hearts give in to the strong pull of emotions. Men learn tenderness when he falls in love. Men learn to be less selfish as he becomes involved in the life of another person. Men are inspired to do great things, inspiring things, nearly impossible feats, with a woman as his muse. The love that a man has for a woman can be an overpowering emotion. And you know what? This kind of love by a man for a woman points us to the kind of love that God loves us with. These are the same emotions that draw us deeper into our worship for God. As our sense of awe is evoked by the grandness and beauty of nature, as we are drawn into wonder at the mysteries of life, as our emotions well up upon hearing a symphonic piece of music, or at the view of a majestic work of art, our passions are awakened. Our love for God burns like fire. And this allows our hearts to be awakened as well, to receive the kind of passionate love that God offers us. We become closer to God when we come to Him not as scholars that seek to understand Him, but as a lover seeking to be loved by Him. Just as King Solomon expressed his passions to his beloved in this poetic piece in the Old Testament, so also God loves us with a passion. As we learn to give this kind of passionate love to God, and as we become open to receive this kind of passionate love from God, even as we learn to offer this same kind of passionate love to the people we love, let us always remember, faith matters.